Hello, members and friends of Bay United Methodist Church. I pray that you experience the marvelous grace of God on a daily basis. But if that's not the case today, then perhaps we can help with today's midweek meditation. But first, let me tell you, in case you haven't heard, this Sunday, if you wish, you may attend worship inside the sanctuary. You can still attend in the parking lot if you wish. We will still video the service, or you can watch from home if that's your preference. All three options will be available to you. But if you would like to worship in the sanctuary, we will have plenty of precautions in place. The windows will be open and the fans on to keep the sanctuary ventilated. We have some pews blocked off and designated seating places to maintain distancing. And for your safety and others, we will ask that you wear a mask while inside. The doors will be propped open to eliminate the need to touch the handles, and hand sanitizer will be available in case you feel the need to use it. No singing in the sanctuary for the time being, no bulletins either, but liturgies will be on the screen. We hope that these precautions will not only keep you safe, but help you feel safe as well. If not, then by all means, join us in the parking lot or on YouTube at home. Now for today's meditation. In 1969, Claude M. Steiner wrote a delightful parable called The Warm Fuzzy Tale. I invite you to read the entire story yourself, but for our purposes here, I'd like to tell you a shorter version. Once upon a time, there was a happy village where everyone was given a bag of warm fuzzies when they were born. Now, what's a warm fuzzy? Well, Mr. Steiner didn't define it exactly, but I believe a warm fuzzy is an act of kindness, a word of affirmation, a sincere and heartfelt compliment. In those days, you could walk up to someone and ask for a warm fuzzy, and they would reach into their bag and draw one out. As soon as the fuzzy saw the light of day, it would smile and blossom into a large, shaggy warm fuzzy, and when you laid the warm fuzzy on a person's head or shoulder or lap, it would snuggle up and melt right against their skin and make them feel good all over. I think the best warm fuzzies are the ones you didn't even ask for. And that was quite common because everyone enjoyed getting warm fuzzies, and it was even more fun to give them. So it was a very happy village indeed, because warm fuzzies were given and received generously. One day, an evil witch wandered into town, and she planted a very bad idea among the people. She suggested that people need to be careful about giving warm fuzzies because one day you might run out of them, and once you run out, you won't have them anymore. And with that, the witch flew away, cackling as she went. Well, the thought had never occurred to any of them before. Run out of warm fuzzies? That would be a disaster. Could it be that one day people would reach inside their warm fuzzy bag and find there were none? So people began to get stingy with their warm fuzzies. They seldom reached into their bag of fuzzies anymore. Well, perhaps they might dare to share one with a family member or even a very close friend, but that was it. Even the children, who loved warm fuzzies the best, took notice of this and began to be stingy with their fuzzies too. As a result, this once happy village became a very dismal place indeed. No one was as happy as they used to be. So someone came up with a plan. Instead of warm fuzzies, perhaps people could give each other cold pricklies instead. Well, what's a cold prickly? Once again, Mr. Steiner doesn't define them, but I think they're probably like good-natured ribbing among friends, or a kind of teasing that's just a little bit cruel. It's telling a joke at someone's expense. So when someone needed or wanted a warm fuzzy, people would reach into another bag and give them a cold prickly instead. The thing is, a cold prickly is not a warm fuzzy, and never will be. And while a cold prickly may result in a laugh now and then, there are times when only a warm fuzzy will do. The village was no happier, even with the cold pricklies, and everyone continued on with their dismal existence. One day, a woman with large hips came into this unhappy town. She seemed not to have heard about the bad witch and was not worried about running out of warm fuzzies. She gave them out freely, even when not asked. The children were especially fond of the big hip woman because they missed the warm fuzzies most of all. The children felt good around her because she was giving out warm fuzzies wherever she went. In fact, the children began to follow her example, giving out warm fuzzies wherever and whenever they felt like it. Many of the grown-ups disapproved. They wanted to protect the children from depleting their supply of warm fuzzies. In fact, some proposed a law to make it a criminal offense to give out warm fuzzies in a reckless manner. So, how do you think the story ends? Well, that pretty much depends on you. For this is a story about us, here and now. Will we continue to be stingy with our fuzzies, handing them out cold pricklies instead? Or will we leave our dismal lives behind and embrace the happiness that giving warm fuzzies provides? Let me wrap this meditation up with this biblical exhortation from Romans 12, verses 9 and 10. Let love be genuine. Not a cold prickly, but a nice, genuine, warm fuzzy. Let love be genuine. Hate what is evil. Hold fast to what is good. Love one another with mutual affection. Outdo one another in showing honor. Have a wonderful, warm, and fuzzy day, dear ones. I'll see you soon.